Hi there, Aquarius, and welcome to your in-depth monthly horoscope for February 2023. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. So I'm going to give you some standout details to look out for. The month begins in a tremendously energetic way, which is exciting. There's also the arrival of Mercury in your sign on the 11th, which helps to bring you into the present. But there is a kind of two streams going on in your situation, some tidying up and still some rather sensitive matters that you need to attend to, but also a real sense that new things are beginning for you, which is really exciting. And towards the end of this month, there's a tremendously fortunate link between Venus and Jupiter that I can't wait to share with you too. Now, if you're a returning visitor, thank you so much for joining me once more. If you're new to my channel, I've had 29 million views on YouTube. It's great to have you with me. And if you'd care to subscribe, like or comment, please do so. However, if you've yet to order your year 2023 personal forecast, so you can rise above this zodiac broadcast, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can give you your forecast for the next year and also your life roadmap in my special package of 30% off, which helps you to understand some of the deeper patterns that have come up for you, good and bad, and help you to become more intimate with how to deal with these and how to gain traction from working with your strengths more closely. Also, in my special package, you can get your zodiac forecast for the year, your Chinese and Indian forecast too. Please see the link beneath this video. So Aquarius, as you come into February, so the Sun in your sign is forging one of its most energetic links to Mars, the planet of thrust, of action and desire, which is in your 5th house, which in itself is a very creative and go-getting house to be in. And of course, in Gemini, it can be very much to do with communication. So your ability to sort of really be very persuasive and very upbeat and enthusiastic is really very strong as you come into this new month. But on the 5th, there is a full moon and it's in your opposite sign. Somebody close to you particularly may surprise you by alleging that you've been far too focused on your own plans, your own concerns and your own projects. And the reason for this, I feel, and this can have an impact on the following 2 weeks, is because of the electric energy of Uranus, your modern ruler, which intercepts this full moon. So it may be something does get discussed that you're not expecting, but equally you may share something that you feel is important because Uranus is the planet of truth and it does continue in the tender 4th house. So if you feel that someone's holding you to account and not recognizing how hard you've been working and how much perhaps you've been doing things you feel for their benefit as well, but there may need to be a frank discussion to get things out into the open. But from the 8th through to the 12th, Mercury is combining with Pluto. And this is what I'm suggesting, that this month has 2 themes initially, some clearing up of loose ends, and a rather tender conversation might happen across those days. Perhaps there does need to be a confession would be a strong word and shows obviously my Catholic roots, but there may be something that does need to be ventilated that's deeply held within you or someone else. But then once Mercury moves into your own sign, that helps you to feel much more in the moment. And also by Valentine's Day, the Sun on the 14th is aligning with Saturn in your sign. It may feel, and it may have felt over the last couple of years, that things have been tough because Saturn in your sign squaring with your modern ruler Uranus, and also all the Plutonian energy in the 12th house. Certainly felt like that for me. But now we've got an opportunity as Aquarians to see just how far the really important things in our life have developed. And if we think about it, some of the things that may have irritated us or not worked out are actually probably quite peripheral things, and maybe things that we thought were important then that actually Saturn's taught us are not that relevant now, because it's asked us to narrow our focus. And that can become really obvious in the third week of this month, but it is possible that energy could be a little lower. But then on the 18th, the Sun makes its way into Pisces. Now, Venus is in this location through to the 20th, and your finances can definitely show signs of revival this month, despite the wider pressures that every one of us is facing. But on the 18th, as the Sun goes into Pisces, the Moon does combine with Pluto in the 12th house. And if there is something that you've been keeping to yourself that has been causing you some sleepless nights, or a worry or an anxiety, you may feel that now is the time that you do want to share it. But what can help you is by the 20th, Venus moves into Aries. Now, technically it's debilitated here, but for you, this gives you a chance to share your message with an extra degree of diplomacy. But the new moon that occurs on the 20th is asking you to set your intentions around resources for the following 4 weeks. But because Saturn is so close to it, and because of all the practice you've had dealing with Saturn throughout your life, but particularly over the last couple of years, I actually feel that you could make some very prudent and sensible financial planning decisions in the month that follows. Now, in the last week of this month, Venus in Aries is going to forge a really delightful link to the Sun, a semi-sextile. And it just shows really that the way we communicate can actually draw good things to us, because Venus is the planet of attraction, but it could be in a financial context, or perhaps people will become more aware of the value of your ideas or what you have to offer. And it's important to know that that new moon in Pisces isn't just about money. That's the more prosaic side of it. It's also about how you feel about yourself. And I feel that Saturn has really tested us Aquarius folks over the last couple of years in quite a big way. And it's helped to really concrete in the things that are really precious. So hold on to those as you come to the end of this month, because then Venus forges an exact alliance with the greater benefit of fortune, Jupiter. So you've got the two planets of luck in an exact conjunction as this month comes to a close. This could see something significant around your interactions with neighbours, your community, a sibling, an idea that you want to express to a wider audience may gain greater currency, and your popularity generally is going to be on the up as this month draws to a close. So it's really quite a glorious end to the month. So essentially we have 3 phases. The first phase, I think, is very much about still working through the delicate, sensitive and maybe vulnerable strands that Pluto has been bringing to the fore in recent years, and the realism in the second strand of Saturn's conjunction with your Sun. And then the third strand, very much about celebrating the foundations of your world and your core self-worth. And all of it can be celebrated as the month draws to a close with some kind of good fortune, happy interaction, lovely email or text message, which can really see you smiling very broadly. Thank you for joining me. It would be lovely if you would like, comment or sub. Thank you so much, and goodbye.